Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and yeah, I know guys, I know it's been a while, but sometimes certain things happen that you just can't ignore. Things like geek culture's leading voice in obnoxious feminism coming out and body shaming women. Yeah, then the God Empress must ride and must speak. So we are here today to talk about Anita Sarkeesian's latest comments, latest area that she seeks to infest with her toxic way of thinking, and that is the Star Wars universe. So she decided to weigh in on the Mandalorian's latest episode featuring Bo-Katan and another female Mandalorian whose armors leave a certain amount of room for their chest. Their breasticles hiding just beneath that armor. And Anita Sarkeesian had things to say about that. So before we dive in to exactly that, I want to offer one disclaimer and also one quick spoiler. And that spoiler is, if in case you don't know, I gesticulate a lot, and this video is about boobs. So you can rest assured that there will be multiple instances of gesticulating at boobs during this video. If you have a problem with that because somehow it is anti-woman or anti-feminist for me to have boobs that I'm proud of, you should probably go somewhere else, Anita. But for the rest of you, it's fine. Now, the disclaimer I want to throw out there is I'm hearing from some people going, oh, we shouldn't be giving her attention. She just wants attention. She's just trying to be relevant. She just wants attention, so don't give it to her. Wrong. Yes, she's just looking for attention. However, she's not looking for attention to be relevant. See, there's this thing, right? There's this thing. We talked about this on the Patriarchy because someone brought this up in a really interesting super chat saying, why is it that the most people who we're told are the most relevant always seem to be the most irrelevant? Well, manufactured relevance versus organic relevance. Anita Sarkeesian has the former. Her relevance has always ever been manufactured. She didn't win a fucking popularity contest to get to where she is. No, she bent the ear of the right people. She had the right connections, and she was able to bend the ear of the right people to get things done with or without the vote of confidence from the general public. She did that without our approval and without our consent. How else do you think she managed to infiltrate gaming, which according to everyone except her, console-based gaming is still a primarily male-dominated activity. So how was she able to swoop in there and make these drastic changes? Because she already had the influence. She has manufactured relevance because people who are important listen to her and listen to what she says. The relevance is there. The attention we give her or don't doesn't change her relevance, right? She has that already. She's looking for attention because she's pathetic and insecure and wants people to like her and wants people to care what she has to say. So that's what she's out there looking for. So the more hatred she gets from, especially, guess what? Women. Intelligent, independent, not conservative, not alt-right, not internalized misogyny, whatever BS, but actual, independent, free-thinking women who hate her. No, that's exactly what kind of attention she doesn't want, because it destroys her narrative. It destroys everything she wants to say about what strong women are and what strong women want. Because guess what? Everything she talks about and stands for is the complete opposite of how it actually manifests in the real world. So why are we here talking about this? Because she pitches a fit about boob armor in the Mandalorian. Oh, why are they putting boob armor on their chest? How sexist is it that you're calling attention to their tits? You're just trying to call attention to the fact that they have boobs. Why is there boob armor? So, as many people were quick to point out, there is boob armor on the Mandalorian armor because there are boobs underneath them. Boobs have mass. They are entities. I can't just will them out of existence. I can't just think them into flatness. I can't just go and all of the stuff that's in here just disperses somewhere into the rest of my body, just conveniently hangs out in my ass until I take whatever restrictive material off of them that I'm wearing. Is words I can't even grammar. I am so frustrated by the idiocy of a statement like this. Boobs need to go somewhere. And it's not like this plate of armor. Look at it. Look at it. It's not like they're popping out in your fucking face. It's a gentle little slope, just enough to make room. We don't have the contours of tits. We don't have fucking nipples on it. Thank you, Batman Forever. We don't have fucking titties in your face here. We have a slight arch, which was honestly probably just designed in the costume to make room for the actual tits of Katie, actual Sackhoff, real human being, woman, person with boobs that need to go somewhere. In fact, the thing that I hate most about this design has nothing to do with the chesticles, but has to do with the fact that somebody pointed out to me that it looks like a mouse. Right click, left click, and the little scroll wheel in the middle, and now I can't unsee that. That's the biggest problem I have with this armor. So, not an issue. Why is this not an issue? Because guess what? In the real world, when women have been allowed to participate in sports or activities that require armor, armor has always been tailored for their chest. Example, this. Boom! We used to call this Barbie boobs when I was growing up. This is called a chest protector. This is a required piece of protective equipment for women to wear when they do the sport of fencing. It goes underneath your jacket. You don't see this shit. This isn't sitting on the top of your thing in everyone's face like, hey, look at my titties, look at my titties. It just sits under your jacket. Where no one can see it. Does it create a small indentation in the jacket itself? Probably. Is anyone looking at that? Fuck no. They're trying to hit you and you're trying to hit them because we are participating in a sport and no one's sitting there giving a shit about whether or not I can see your tits or how much of them I can see. No woman's sitting here going, I better buy my titties so they don't show through my uniform. You're just putting on protective equipment that you need to wear for this sport. This comes in a variety of sizes, from the very, very almost non-existent one that I need to the gigantumongous one that one of my friends who fenced for me in college needed. My friend who, by the way, couldn't even do a full push-up because her tits were too big. So we literally had to change and accommodate every single activity around the size of her tits because large tits are a real thing that real women have. And women like Anita Sarkeesian don't want to acknowledge that. They want to sit here and talk about this kind of bullshit. Oh, erasure of this type of person, erasure of that type of person in their media, erasure of the big-titted women. They are going ham on that. They are leaning into it hard because for some reason in their idiotic minds, the only place where big-titted women exist are in the minds of horny men. False. I can list off the top of my head probably 10 very, very large-titted women. As big, if not bigger, than the chests that are regularly drawn onto these over-sexualized video game characters and movie characters and comic characters and what have yous. They're real. They exist. So, Anita, how do you think these actual women, real, biological female women that have all these women problems you so love to talk about, feel when you act like them having representation in media is somehow misogynistic or evil or bad? Do they need to cut off their tits to appease you? Because that's sort of what it's sounding like. Because the only arguments I can think of against tits in armor, against making room for boobs in armor, have a certain similarity to them. Let's see if you can hear, because these are the people out there who agree with the likes of Anita Sarkeesian, right? And I do think there are. I think there are a lot of people who can get behind what she's saying and support it. For example, people who believe that being a soldier or a warrior is traditionally a man's role and should only ever be a man's role. Therefore, what is a woman even doing in armor anyway? So of course there shouldn't be boob armor. If she really wants to get herself into this man's job, then I guess she should squeeze herself into it. Because realistically, if we think about it, the patriarchy is a necessary part of the way we run our world. Men run our world. Men are in charge. Women shouldn't be out there asking the world to make special modifications for their unique individual bodies or unique individual needs. We shouldn't be tailoring things in the world for the special unique needs of women. No, we should be forcing women to fit themselves, literally physically fit their bodies into things that were molded and shaped specifically for men without their individual needs in mind. Because men, run this planet, so we should maybe be catering to them and not worrying. If women are so worried about their armor fitting, maybe they should just shut the hell up and go back in the kitchen, get pregnant and take the damn shoes off and make their man a goddamn sandwich. Thank you, Anita, for bringing this to everyone's attention, because I think there are a lot of men out there who can get behind this, who can absolutely agree with this. And the final argument, I think, is a really, really valid one, Anita. Even though this armor is not really boob-tastic in the way you've seen it in these over-sexualized ways before, it still does bring attention to the fact that you're fighting alongside women, which could be really distracting for the men. I mean, if they notice they have tits, maybe the men just get turned on the battlefield and can't fight as effectively. Or maybe they're so concerned about having to protect the women that they can't be as effective because they need to, just be able to see the women as one of them, so that they can properly fight alongside us and not constantly be worried about having to protect us. So thank you, Anita. Thank you, Anita, for bringing these wonderful points to the forefront, for being the spokesperson for men everywhere who believe that women don't have a place on the battlefield and shouldn't have special things made for them to accommodate them in the world. Thank you, because that's exactly what you're saying, Anita. What you're saying is that there's no place in the world for big-chested women, that the ideal body type, what you're pushing for, that we've seen in gaming go overall happening consistently since she stuck her head into video games, is the desexualization of the female form to the point where your women look like men, to the point where The Last of Us 2 comes out, everyone's freaking out of the cutscene about this, these two dudes banging or something. Turns out one of them was a chick the whole time. So if you guys want to drink your feminist Kool-Aid from somebody who thinks the ideal female form is a form that looks like a dude, Yeah, that sounds like feminism to me. The ideal feminine female form is no female form. Whose brand of feminism is literally, let's make us all look and seem more like men than A+ to you. But real women who have boobs like mine, we want room for them. We want room for our voices in this world, and we want room for our tits and our clothing. Thank you very effing much from the beginning of the invention of women's clothing. Women's clothing has been tailored differently with the understanding that we have wider hips and bigger tits than men. That has been a thing since forever, but all of a sudden, it is now anti-feminist to make clothes that fit women more comfortably? Would she rather that big-chested women cut their tits off to fit it? Because that's what it sounds like. Yes, big-chested women everywhere, go cut your tits off to conform. Go get rid of all the things that make you uniquely, biologically, femininely you. Get rid of those things. That's feminism. Feminism is fuck feminism. Feminism is fuck being a woman now. Feminism is fuck gender in any way at all. Fuck anything except these moronic people moving the goalposts every time they want a pat on the back from the higher-ups for leading the good charge. F these people. So yeah, give Anita the attention she deserves. Make sure everyone out there who may not be aware of her from Gamergate, who may not be aware of the influence she brought into comics, and now that she's bringing her skanky ass into Star Wars, make people who are not aware of this bitch aware who she is and what she does. She just crawls from one thing to the next, infecting it with her putrescence, with the entire concept that everything in the world should just bow before her. So talk about her. Bring attention to this shit, because this woman is a moron, and this woman is dangerous because she is connected, and she does not give a crap what you want or what you think. And she does need to be stopped before she does more harm to the pop culture landscape, more harm to the social landscape. She is a voice of division that pulls us apart and makes us fight each other and tear down the nice things we have. Don't let her do this. Stop this woman. This is going to be my Cato back in the day. Little history. Cato's the guy who used to end all his orations, no matter what they were about, with in summation, Carthage must be destroyed. So maybe I'm just going to end all my videos from now with in summation, Anita Sarkeesian must be destroyed. And with that, that is all I have to say to you guys today. So, do all the things, the clicking the buttons and the stuff, and the following the social medias, because YouTube sucks. And so follow me other places and do all those things. And don't ever forget that practice makes wrong. God Empress, out.